In 1997, a crack golf instruction team was sent to prison by the PGA for teaching crimes they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the San Antonio Underground. Today, still wanted by the PGA, they survive as online golf coaches. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can Google them, maybe you can hire the Birdie Brigade.
Hey everybody, we are here finally. It's been
Back.
we were just talking about it over a year since our last podcast, and I think we quit doing it because we are absolutely terrible at editing videos. We're much better at playing golf. I think we're much better at playing golf in real life than we are in video games too, Rich. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely.
I think the last time we played Tiger Woods, we shot both over 100.
Yeah, I almost broke my thumb on Golden Tee.
Just want to make sure you guys can hear us. If you could just say yes, you can hear us, that would be great. We will start getting rolling here in just a second. All right. We're pretty new to this stuff, but it's actually very cool software that we have. So today's podcast is about 100 yards and in, and we're currently doing for our students what we call the RedZone challenge, and that's pretty much 100 yards and in. And for most amateurs, that's pretty much a guessing game. And so today we're going to give you a couple of lessons, some drills. We're going to give you a challenge and a pressure test, which is kind of how we teach. So you'll be able to have all this information. We'll also give you a sheet that Rich has created. He does know how to use, what is it, Excel?
I think this was Excel originally.
Yeah, so we're actually learning how to use computers. We're not super good at it. We're a little above monkey level, but we are going to get there. And we'll take some Q&A at the end of the lessons. We have a couple of videos that we've filmed for you. I think Rich filmed most of these videos. So we'll get started with that. So first things off, if you're here, we don't believe in tip of the day crap. So all of our stuff is going to be targeted and focused. We're going to give you a very clear plan today, excuse me, to take to the driving range and practice. Rich filmed some great stuff. And in fact, I think Jordan Spieth ripped this off from us because we came up with this drill way before Jordan Spieth. And it was filmed. We have proof. This was filmed before Jordan Spieth was born. I think, what is he, 12 years old now?
Yeah.
13?
It's not hard. Some of our old stuff was done before he was born.
Yeah, probably before he was even out of high school. So we have what we're going to call, we're just going to name it the Jordan Spieth drill. He seems like a good guy. So we're just going to name it that, Rich, even though this video was filmed way before him and he stole it from us. So anyway, we saw him do this exact drill at the Masters with the flags they had running down the side. So before we get into that, I just want to introduce my co-host here, Richard Guzzo. Some say when his wife turns off the lights in their bedroom at night, that a strange glow of 3 balls appears in Rich's groin area. Now, this could explain how you got your wife pregnant after your vasectomy.
That could be it.
Ball.
That could be it.
That reminds me of the time that we learned about this baby was in Las Vegas. I can't remember what golf course we were even playing.
I want to say it was Paiute.
It was, I think there were houses on this one. So it may have been Jack Nicklaus Bears Best or something.
That could be possible,
3
yeah.
or 4 years ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's about becoming more accurate from 100 yards and in. You don't need to be a member of our single-digit blueprint to take advantage of today's lessons. So I'd like to welcome everybody to today's podcast. This is our brand new live edition. We've changed the name to the Birdie Brigade. You may have seen some video of our brand new client, Rory McIlroy, at the very beginning of this, throwing his club into the pond. Rich was able to retrieve that iron and give that to Donald Trump, and then Trump returned that to Rory on the driving range. And I think Rich did that when he was visiting his condo down in Florida. How did you get in the lake like that, Rich?
Oh, it's easy. Straight out of the backyard.
But they let you onto the Blue Monster and you just went out there?
The house is on that same lake.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So we're going to do this podcast every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and you'll be able to rewatch it at any time. So if you have to leave, that's cool. We're going to send you a link after this is done. You'll be able to watch it. And then we're going to release it probably in a day or two to Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. So let's get to it. Let's get to work. That's enough of the fluff. So one of the most common problems we see with the RedZone is when golfers begin guessing about how hard to hit their irons instead of regulating their backswing length or distance. So today's lesson is going to be about controlling distance. We'll give you a couple of drills on that, and then we're going to actually send you out with what we call a pressure test that, in my opinion, helps prepare you to play golf. So when you face these situations on the golf course, you're able to handle them. So Rich, just looking here real quick. So most amateurs try to control their distance by how hard they swing. So can you give us a couple of why that's a problem?
Yeah, because if you can understand your swing a little bit better, knowing where it's at in certain sequences of your swing, that's a better gauge on distance versus trying to slow the swing down or speed it up based on the distance. So that's why if you're working on how hard to hit the club to get a certain distance, it's a very difficult to judge, especially when you're on the golf course. So what we try to advocate is understanding, one, where your club is at in your swing, and then two, if you take it to a certain point at as hard as you can hit the shot, what distance does that generate? So if we say take your wedge to 1030 and then hit it as hard as you can, what's the distance? The chances of you getting within a close proximity are much greater than just trying to judge based on how fast you're going to hit or how hard you're going to hit that shot to that point. So with the RedZone challenge, we work on doing the 50, 75, and 100 with one club. And the one club is the key here because, yes, it's easy for you to hit different clubs to certain yardages with a full swing, but it's still not training your brain on how to judge the distance. Because let's face it, you're not going to be left with 100 yards on the golf course. It's either going to be 95 or 103. So being able to train where your club is at and what distance it produces is where we're going with the RedZone challenge.
Yeah, so let me bring up a couple of things real quick. I want you to ask yourself some questions, not you, Rich, but the people listening. Have you ever felt like you've taken too short a backswing and you tried to accelerate it through to speed up to get that power? You don't trust it. So what we're trying to do is teach you how to trust your backswing length to create the distance you want to achieve. So if you ever hit it thin or fat, you know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes maybe you take it back too far and then you slow it down. You're like, man, I took that back too far. And then you chop at it, you hit it fat. So what we're trying to do is eliminate fat and thin shots with this methodology. And
yeah, the tempo can stay the same. The tempo and speed stays the same.
That's
Whereas when you're trying to work it based on speed, that's where that goes off. So with what we work on in the RedZone is keeping the tempo, the speed the same. It's just allocating where the swing needs to stop on the backswing.
Right. And our co-author of How to Break 90, Robert, we've worked so hard with him on this one specific thing. He argues with us over it tremendously. And then we show him videos of, all the tour pros and how they regulate their distance. And this is how they do it. Now, we use one club on this. Obviously, that's for perfect conditions, no wind. This club can change and vary, and you should work through all of your wedges using a quarter, half, 3/4 backswing length, and measure those distances and have a chart. And we're going to show you how to do that later in today's drill. So, Rich, why don't you talk about the drill you're going to show us today?
Which one are you going to show first?
Yeah. We're going to do the step drill. Okay,
so the step drill is taking the assessment of the RedZone challenge, which has them focusing on 3 yardages, 50, 75, and 100 with one club. We try and take that a little bit further, and this with the step drill, and you can do it 2 different ways. You can have yardages out on the practice range, or if you're on a fairway or a park, wherever you need to be, all you need is 100 yards, starting at 20 yards, and then every 10-yard increment. You either put a towel, a flag, a roadside hazard cone, whatever you call it, something that will basically give you a visual on distances. And so with this one, you can use multiple clubs. I think the last time I did it, I used 2. I used my 58 and my 52. So for the shorter ones, I'm probably 20 up until about 50. I'm using the 58, and then the rest I'm using my 52.
Right. So, and the reason we're going with one club to start with is we want you to it's not about the club. It's about the length of your backswing. That's all this is about.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the step drill here. Rich is going to just show you how to set it all up. I recommend a football field, but a football coach may not like that. So we're going to go ahead and start this video. It's about 3 minutes long, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty. We'll give you the assessment sheet and talk about some other common faults that we see. And then you can head out to the range. So here we go, Rich.
Rich Guzzo here with golfaggressive.com, and today's focus is going to be on providing you with a simple yet highly effective step drill for distance control with your wedges. And we found that to be the key benefit to lowering your golf scores. So what I have here is 2 stations. In the setup that I will outline, it will be 9 stations, and it'll be from 20 yards to 100 yards. And really it's focusing on that distance control. So it could be whether you've hit a 300-yard drive and you've got 100 yards in and you want to capitalize on getting that up and down for birdie, or it could be you've hit it in the junk, you've pitched out to 80 yards and you want to get up and down for par. This is the zone that's going to be crucial to lowering your golf scores. So down below in the notes, I've got a link to download the worksheet, and you'll print that out and take it to the course. I've got 2 stations right here at 90 and 80, and behind the camera I've got 100 yards, and I've got my flag with my target. So best thing is to laser this off. That way you have exact measurements. I've got 10 balls on each station. Now what that's going to do is provide me a very good average on and assess my game at where it's at right now. The improvement component of this is a few things. One is you hear a lot of golfers, and elite golfers as well, they complain about their game. And what you'll find is they don't have, or they don't diverse a strategy in order to get better. So this step drill is, one, a plan, but it also, once you do it over once a week or 2 to 3 times a month, you progressively get better because you know your swing sequences in certain distances. So 10 balls per each target. You'll hit to a flag, and you're going to record the landing point for this assessment. You can do another assessment down the road that will measure rollout. A few things to know with that is you're going to try and get a replica of an actual green. I'm on the driving range here, so most of our targets are just placed on a lightly mown fairway. So I might go to the green to my left here and hit shots and look at the rollout and measure it that way. If you have a good mate, have him stand out by the flag and with 10 tees in his pocket, and each time the ball lands, mark it with a tee, and that will give you an exact measurement. Because this is the game. I mean, if we can knock it to 6-8 feet all the time within this range, this is where we're going to see your scores lower. So I've got the links down below for the worksheet. I'm going to map this out for you. 9 points, 10-yard increments, 10 balls per point. We're going to take your average, and then we're going to assess where you're at. And then every time you do this, we'll progressively see your proximity to the hole decrease. So this is the step drill. I look forward to seeing your results with this one, and hearing your comments down below, or even on our Facebook page, and seeing how this progresses with your golf game.
All right, so fantastic, Rich. You did that all yourself. That video, very impressive. We've had some video problems lately. We went to Arizona. We spent all this money. Went to fancy golf courses. Filmed an entire series. We get back and it's great.
We are definitely not good at the audio component of our videos.
We're not good at anything, no. Audio or video.
If it's not audio, it's the color of the video. It's
more like a French art film. It's very washed out colors and sound.
We need to probably do it in 3D.
I think that drill, if you can master that, that's pretty much like the holy grail for distance control on your wedges. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
On the right side of your screen, there's a file that I put over there. You need to download that and print that out. Now, Rich was talking between the break. You can't hear us, so we were talking. Once you master the quarter, half, 3/4 backswing lengths, take this to the golf course, and on a calm day, because we'll teach you how to adjust for wind just by guessing. It's fairly accurate, but you're going to do this for all of your scoring wedges from 100 yards and in, just so you know the exact distances for each swing length, and then you can kind of build your battle plan around that. I think Bryson DeChambeau, man, he's amazing. Have you seen that little sheet that he's created of all his swing length distances?
Yeah,
like he knows. It's much more minuscule than what we're teaching.
Yeah, I saw him on the range at the Valero Texas Open, and he had what looked like a commercial camera, like a video camera, like you would see on a TV stand. He had one of those behind him.
Nice.
And I thought that he was doing an interview, and come to find out that's part of his practice still.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain art form to golf, and if you can train your brain, if your muscle memory and hand-eye coordination is that good, then why not? But for most of us, it's not really possible. So moving on, it's really important to know how far you hit each of these clubs. Your scoring, I can promise you, even if you're not on the line, if you are hitting at the right distance, you're going to be much closer to the hole than if you're offline and the distance is off. So even if you're having a little bit of control problems, don't worry about that. If you want cars, this is the way to go.
The downloadable document or the worksheet will allow you to track your progress as well. So whether you do it every 2 weeks or once a month at the minimum, that way you can, if not see how you're progressing, but also make sure that you're continually programming your brain to know how far to hit each club. So that each shot will be tracked, then just take the average of it and put the average in your total. That way you can kind of see what's your radius. Now, I think I covered it in the video, whether you're going to be doing it on spot landing or end spot. That will vary.
I think you should do spot, because the range, in my opinion, is not watered
right
as much as a real golf course is.
Right, and then based on how you hit those shots. So if you know that you hit shots into a green at your home course that may be on bent greens, and you maybe get out 5 feet of roll, then you'll be able to use that in your data when you go to the course. But say, for example, you play greens with Bermuda and your 80-yard shot gets 10 yards of roll. You'll have to factor that in. So there's plus and minuses. I personally, I like to do both. I like to do the spot on the range, and then occasionally, and this will be, say, the range session will be at least once or twice a month, but the course maybe every once a quarter, to where I'll actually go on the course and test it out.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty quiet out there, and don't let the greenskeeper see you doing this.
Yeah, you could. I mean, what I typically do is drop it down to like 3 or 4 balls when I'm on the course.
Clark does it.
So
we will not reveal his location for his own safety.
Yeah, so it is a really good way to narrow your focus in from 100 yards,
right,
and train your swing to do it.
Right, absolutely. So I want you to go do this drill, and then, maybe even before the drill, I want you to do this drill every day for the next 5 days. So through the weekend, through next Tuesday, and then I want you to come back on the podcast and let us know. And the cool thing about this podcast is, even if you're not watching this live, we will still get your questions if you type them in. And we'll just have to respond to you via email. But you can still ask us questions even if you're watching this like 2 years from today, which is pretty cool. I think we've taken a step up in our technology.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do this week, I want you to do the drill, the step drill, but I want you to do a pressure test, which is I want you to play 9 holes of varying distances. For example, pick 30 yards, 60 yards, and 90 yards as targets. Then play those holes randomly. So it's going to be round robin for those 3 distances. So I want you to keep score. Now, Rich, did we remind me how we keep score on this? Because we had like a point system.
Yeah, so if you're 20 foot away from the pin, you get 1 point. I think it's 15, you get 2, 10, 10 you get 3, and 5 feet from the pin, you get 4 points. If you miss outside 20 feet, you get 0.
If you hit the flag, it's 5.
Depends on the ricochet. Yeah, we're going on spot, so that's a 5er.
So we'll just do that. Keep score, because at the end of the week, I want you to retake it after you do the drill 5 days in a row. So that's the challenge pretty much, is go out and this week practice a minimum of 3 times, set a benchmark for yourself with the first pressure test after you do Rich's drill. Keep that score and repeat 2 more times. So through the week, not immediately. So your goal is to beat your score by the end of the 3rd practice session. Now, if you're going to do 5 days, like I recommend, I want you to do the pressure test 5 times. So after you do the drill, do it again. What we're trying to do here is create some muscle memory and get it through our thick skulls that certain swing length with the good tempo is going to be good for us. So I think, honestly, this is going to help people break through their barriers, 100, 90, 80, because we've seen it. Once we get closer to the pin, some people are not great putters, but, putting's pretty easy to get better at, I think.
And I think if we can reduce that proximity to the hole, that's the key here. So whether it be you've hit it to 100 yards and you're hitting your second shot into a par 4, or whether or not you're just taking your medicine, you've pitched out and you've got an 80-yard shot for your 3rd, it is the area where you can make the most ground on reducing your score. So if we can reduce the proximity to the hole, the chances of you making that putt increase. I think if we were to pull up the stats on the PGA Tour, it doesn't look good from 20, 30 feet. I think we have that misconception that, those guys on tour make everything. And that's probably because
it's only Jordan.
Well, it's just because TV only shows the ones that they make majority of the time. So from the outside standpoint, all we're seeing is these guys making all these bombs. But in reality, 20, 30 foot range, they're not making them either. So put that into amateurs and the percentages is quite low. So if we can bring that proximity to the hole into I would say 50, say if your proximity to the hole right now from 100 yards is 25 feet, if we can get you down to 15 by next week, which is definitely doable if you do this drill daily.
More. The percentages just skyrocket the closer you get.
So, I mean, your ultimate goal will be try to hit that 10-foot range. If you can do that.
And it's doable. If you can get the distance down in somewhat some direction. And got a shout out from Mike Povey. He is in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Good evening there. How many hours of a flight is that from here, Rich?
It's got to be further than Australia.
It's a long ways.
I didn't even know.
I want to go there. There's that Sun City Casino.
That's always been a spot I wanted to go to.
That looks really nice. So on the side of the page, I put up a special offer. It's 7 full days of the single-digit blueprint where we cover things like what we're doing now. So this is a blatant, outright, unapologetic sales pitch right now. But 7 full days for just $1. You can get in there, you can see everything. And for the RedZone challenge, which is what this complements, we're giving away what kind of wedge is it, Rich?
Whatever they want. I think that most of them go for a Vokey.
No, wait a second. It's not whatever they want. I mean, then they could say, "Oh yeah, I want the PXG or whatever that thing is, the Parsons Project, Alan Parsons Project Golf."
You've got deep pockets. Yeah, I think it's a Vokey wedge, SM6. I think.
Yeah, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But we're going to give that away to the winner, and it's not necessarily the guy that improves the most. It's the guy that's the most engaged, because what we'll do is we'll send out checklists every single morning, so you know exactly what to do. We give you a paint-by-numbers approach. What we're doing today is a little bit looser than what we normally do. If we have any questions, go ahead and fire those off. If not, I've got a video from one of our members. He wanted us to analyze this real quick. And then super quick after that, we've got a drill or 2 or 3 drills that will fix the problem that he has. And chances are you have this problem too. 9 times out of 10, we see this. This is a full swing. This is a chip. This is everything. So I'm going to let Rich take it from here. I'm going to put that video in. And the angle is not great, but what we need is here. So we're going to go ahead and play that super quick. I know what I see. So, yeah. Rich, what do you see on that?
So Larry's pretty much it's takeaway for him. Gets the takeaway right, and he's golden. So if I would say the position he wants to get in is where the tempo is in sync. So he has the tendency to pick it up a little bit and on the outside. And when your tempo is there or your timing, not a problem, solid contact. What you'll find that he's either going to have a two-way miss. He'll pick it up, get stuck, ball goes straight left, or he'll spin out of it and it'll cut to the right.
It's amazing. Your brain will it knows what's going on. It can feel it, and it's trying to correct the problem here. So we don't want to get to that stage. A little bit of background on Larry is he was struggling to break 80 when he came to us. Now he's shooting mid to high 70s pretty much every round.
Yep.
This one thing right here, Larry, if you're listening to me, you got to do this. You got to make this like brutally hard practice. You got to get through this, because once you do, your consistency, those blow up holes, they're done. They're gone.
Yeah, and we're not even
76 is going to be a 72, 71, 70, and eventually you'll be in Scott Bergson territory, the birdie man, and Brandon Johnson, who is he's in the Air Force. He's the actual champion of the Air Force, isn't he?
Yeah.
The winner of their golf tournament. Man, these guys they were not this great when they came in here. Just using our basic systems and the focus that we're giving them, they've brought the score down. Larry can get there. There's no doubt in my mind. Funny story, Larry actually came here and I had lunch with him at Paul Stanley's restaurant. I think it's called Rock and Brews or something like that. Guy ate like 4 hamburgers. Then he went to the bathroom after he got done eating, and he stayed in there and made me pay the bill.
nice move. Nice move, Larry.
The amount of beer that guy can drink is unbelievable. He pulled the ankle on me.
He did a dine and dash.
Yeah, like the Dalai Lama.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
no, really for Larry.
In the parking lot, he said, on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness. And then he got in his car and drove off.
So you got that going for you.
So, Rich, we got 3 drills we can give Larry here.
It's just focusing on his takeaway. And
we got
really
the 2 balls drill, Rich. Really? Can we show that?
We can. It's kid friendly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we're good with that one.
Okay. Let me get the video here. All right. Here we go. The 2 ball X-rated Richard Guzzo video. Rich, I hope you're not glowing with the 3 balls. Here we go.
Rich Guzzo with golfaggressive.com. Today's tip, we're looking at the takeaway, but more importantly, the speed of your takeaway. And we often don't think about it too much. We just sit up over the ball, get it in the right position and go. But more often than not, what I see is a lot of amateurs will swing that club back too fast and put it into positions where you can't get the club square at impact. So with this one, you can do it on the range. Any iron. I've got 2 balls. I'm going to be placing my club directly behind the first ball, and I'm just going to be sweeping it back as I take my swing. If I find that the ball goes 20, 30 feet behind, I'm taking it too fast. It should only go about 10 feet. That will give you a good timing, good nice speed with that takeaway. So with this one, you can do on the range. I've got my 2 balls. I'm just going to set it back and pull the trigger. So that ball's gone about 8 feet, which is perfect for me. And so once I get that nice smooth takeaway, I know I can get it into the right spots in my swing, and it gives me the best chance to get it square at impact. So this is the 2 ball drill for your takeaway.
So, Rich, I think we're back. I don't know what I'm doing here.
So not only we've been away from the podcast for a year, but we're coming back with new software and we're doing it live. So
it's amazing technology, though.
That's asking a bit much.
I would ask to draw on the whiteboard, but
no chance.
All right, I got another drill here. So these are all related. This is to keep you from getting bored. That's why we give you so many. And you may hate one of the drills, but you'll have the other ones to do. So here we go. I don't even know what this drill is. I'm going to hit it. I think I typed it in wrong. So we're going to go ahead and watch this one super quick. It's not very long.
Rich Guzzo here with golfaggressive.com. Today I'm covering my trusty book drill. It is for the takeaway, and that's all it's focusing on here. If we find we can get the right takeaway, that'll allow you to hinge the club in the right position, get your timing on the right path, and then have the best chance of getting that club back to square at impact. So with this one, magazine, book, something of this size, you're taking your golf posture stance as you're about to hit a ball, and all we're focusing on is this one movement where the book goes over to your right foot. You'll see my lower body moves with me, but the book doesn't tilt. If you find you have a reverse pivot, your book will tilt like this. If you find you sway off the ball, it's going to be outside the right foot. So the goal here is to just focus on that takeaway to the right foot to where your lower body moves nicely. Now, if you find you want to hinge the club directly after, 1030 or a full swing at the hinge, that's up to you. But we don't want to hinge at the start, or we don't want to sweep it too fast. We just want a nice, smooth takeaway over to the right knee, and there's your position. So if you can consistently work on this, it's something that you can do at home, office, even on the driving range. This will allow you to just get that takeaway going nice and smooth. Great takeaway, great positions, good tempo, square at impact. That's the book drill.
Are we here?
We are. We're back.
All right, we got another drill. So that drill you can do anywhere. That's what Rich and I were talking about. Maybe you heard us. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the trusty book drill.
We've never seen one of these.
It's funny. We've given out that drill so many times, and I was looking over our video content, and I'm like, I've never videoed it before.
You know what's crazy is people probably get bored with we're giving them the same drills. It's because you haven't fixed the damn problem.
Yeah.
We'll give you another drill when you fix the problem, and then you move on. That's how it works.
Yeah.
You know, Yoda, he doesn't teach Luke Skywalker how to do a special move until he's mastered the basics. That's how it works. So, Rich, this may be the same video. If it is, I'll stop it. So we did Rich's X-rated 2-ball video. Should we call it 3-ball or free ball?
The ball swinger.
Yeah. Body beautiful bounce drill. Right.
The triple B.
Rich Guzzo here with golfaggressive.com. Today's tip is focusing on the takeaway, and I've got my trusty book drill that I use as well. That is great for when you're at home, away from the golf course. This one is something that you can actually do on the range, and you can also use it on the golf course when you're in that pressure situation where you find that you get over the ball and you get stuck, or you find that you're getting too quick, because that's the key here. If we can get the takeaway with the correct tempo, that'll allow you to get into the best spots that you can be. So with this one, I've got a 6-iron. You can grab any club that you like. We're just going to place it straight into the belly button and take our normal stance and grip. From this position, all we want to do is move it to the right foot, and there's your takeaway. Your weight has gone across. Now, if you find that you have a reverse pivot or you sway off the ball, you'll notice it pretty easily. So you'll sway like this and the club face will be pointing down, or if you sway off the ball, you're going to be too far off your right foot. So your takeaway is just to the right of your foot. The weight will go with it, and then you can go through. So with that one, you can set up over the ball, take a couple of practice swings there, look at your target, and then pull the trigger. By trying this tip, it'll allow you to focus just primarily on that takeaway, which is the key to getting your swing on the right tempo and in the right positions.
All right, we're back. Maybe you heard us arguing. I don't think we were arguing, were we, Rich?
Nah.
We're discussing.
Heated discussion.
So with that drill, I stole this from Nick Faldo, and this drill is a little different than the. I think I can hear myself. Crank.
Sound fine to me.
Okay. Well, this drill is a little bit different than the book drill, because when you put that club into your belly button, you're actually turning your hips a little bit. So what we find with the pickup move is they are all arms at that very second. So what we're trying to do is get you to use your body to turn just a hair to start that club on its path. We're trying to get more machine-like with the takeaway. We can control the takeaway almost without a doubt. There's no reason not to fix this.
Yeah, the takeaway is the the glue to having the right tempo in your swing. Take it back too fast, take it up too steep, take it back too low and long. You're fighting the battle the whole way through your swing. Doesn't mean you might not hit a good shot. It's just that you're going to have to fight hard to get that club back to where where it needs to be.
And here's a secret. Under pressure, the wrist golfer will crater. He will fall apart. The body guy that moves it with his body with this new drill, he's going to absolutely crush the wristy guy. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. And you can probably relate to that. When the nerves get to you, this is when you need to be paying much more attention to this. And that's all we have on the videos, Rich. So I think. Well,
there's 3. 4 with the step drill.
Plus, we got our A-Team intro video. I want to play that again because I really like it. You guys may not like it.
Brings back memories.
I'm a huge A-Team fan.
We should just redo the intro for every cool 80s TV show. Yeah. Maybe do Knight Rider.
That would be
MacGyver.
Airwolf. No, I was watching A-Team last night. I got up on Amazon Prime. You can buy an episode for like $1.99. So I bought one, and it was the golf episode. I actually think there's more than one, but Murdoch, the crazy guy, he was trying to talk the team into taking up the cause for golf balls because they were being abused and hit and just left in a dark bag all the time. And he called it the Golf Ball Liberation Front or Army. Yeah, it was classic. They even had the caddy, the Italian guy from Caddyshack, the guy that
D'Annunzio.
D'Annunzio was a caddy on the A-Team episode. He back with fake money. They were trying to kill him because this banker, he was gonna put all this fake money on an airplane and it was gonna crash, and then he was gonna get that money back from insurance, but it would be real money, not fake money. Beautiful plan.
I thought D'Annunzio just did one show and that was it.
It was hilarious. I mean, they were totally making fun of Caddyshack in this. Those writers, classic stuff. So, with that said, we're going to wrap it up here. Again, just ask if you're watching this and it's not live, go ahead and ask us a question. We will see it. We will answer it.
Or if they want to submit videos to the coaching group, go for it. That's all.
Fire those off. What email address, Rich?
coaching@golfaggressive.com.
And you can post them on the Golf Aggressive, which I just changed it yesterday. It's going to be Birdie Brigade. We're going to go ahead and switch because Golf Aggressive is the publishing company. You can upload it to the Facebook page as well. So if you want to give it a shot, give our program a shot. It's $1 for 7 days. You can't really go wrong. And if you hate it, I'll give you $1 back.
Yeah,
if you're that cheap, I will send you the $1 back.
I think the great thing about our challenges is that it's the accountability aspect of it. We hold you accountable for it. You've got a task to do every day. Whether or not you can do it, that's fine. We're playing a sport that does demand quite a bit of us in order to get better. And so those that have the time to do it, we've got something that they can do every single day. If they're joining now, oh no. I thought we were going to do that.
Rich, I had to. I didn't want to.
So if
I didn't mention Butch Harmon.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get away from it.
Got them both in there, Rich.
All right, you can put them away now. So yeah, the challenges. If you join now, the RedZone challenge is going on. If you watch this next year, there could be a different challenge going on. We try to do them as a group, so that other golfers.
Fun as a group.
It is, but then there are golfers that like to do all these by themselves.
Who would that be?
I would say yourself. You love doing it by yourself, so So yeah, so it depends on what you prefer, whether it to be on your own or in a group atmosphere. Both have the ability to hold you accountable with daily tasks. So yeah, so go from there.
And also, if you're watching this and you want to do the Red Zone Challenge, and it's, you know, wherever you're at in the world, we have people all over the world, Australia, South Africa now, Ireland, the UK, France, Germany, even Russia. We have some people over there. No matter where you're at, if you want to do the Red Zone Challenge, the best deal is to get it for $1 for 7 days, see if it's for you. Then it's like $19.96 a month. Cancel it anytime.
Yeah.
You buy it outright on its own, it's $197. So this is a much better value. Plus, you unlock everything else we have. So
yeah, quite a few challenges in there, and then we're looking at launching 2 more sessions or modules with the bunker and the shot making.
That'll
complete the whole game. Your whole, I mean, that's the only missing component.
From beginning to end, it'll be a year-long blueprint, basically, and we'll have that done probably late October. We're going to have a full schedule ready for 2008. And 2018, I'm just going to put it out there, we're going to do a live event. As we are getting more and more people, a live event just makes more sense, where we can come in and teach some fitness, some golf, and maybe Rich will show us how good he is playing golf after some Crown Royal.
I'm fine. It's you that has trouble.
I'm not touching that stuff. No way. So go out there, do the drill, the step drill, the pressure test right after. Do it for 5 days. Hit us up. Let us know how you did.
I think you should end on that one. We'll see you next week.